In today's lesson, we are going to be looking at the E minor chord. However, I want you to refer to it as the easy minor chord because it's easy and it begins with E. So the first thing to note is we are going to use all 6 strings for this chord. We're going to strum from the lower E string all the way down. So let's take a closer look and see which fingers that we are going to use. So we're going to start with our first finger, and this is going to go on the A string on the A2. And then directly underneath that, we're going to use our middle finger, and that's going to be on the D2 string. And then we're going to strum from the low E string all the way down, and just make sure you're nice and fingertippy with these 2 fingers and that you've got that clear arch shape underneath and the palm's not right at the top. It's really important to maintain that gap. And we're going to strum all 6 strings. Now it's important to get used to taking your fingers away and placing them back on so you get used to that muscle memory movement. And that means eventually that we'll be able to play this chord without looking at the fretboard. And that's the ultimate aim, really. So I want you to practice playing that with me now. And we're going to put our fingers on and strum. Take them away, put them back in position, and play it again. Take them away, put them back in position, and play again. Now feel free at this point to pause the video and practice that a few more times so you get a little bit more comfortable. But if you're ready, we're going to move on and change our fingers now. We're going to stick with the same shape, the same E minor chord or easy minor chord, but this time we're going to lead with our middle finger followed by the 3rd finger. So the middle finger is going to go on that A2, and the 3rd finger is go underneath and is going to go on that D2, and again strum from the E string all the way down. And then we take our fingers away and place them back on again. Take our fingers away and place them back on again. And again, it's important that we do that so we change shape, and this means that we are learning that muscle memory position for when we go back and play the E minor. Now we're going to change fingers again, and this time use our 3rd and 4th finger. Now this one will be really tricky, so you're going to need a little bit more time to practice, but the same principle applies. We're going to pop our 3rd finger on the A2 and then our little finger underneath on the D2, strum from the low E string all the way down. And you can practice taking them away and then popping them back in place. Taking them away and pop them back. Now it's really important that we do learn to play this chord position using multiple different fingers. And the reason being, I'm just going to show you now, if I was to take that E minor chord shape and I want to move that up to be, for example, a G minor, I need to add some fingers here. And I've got that G minor shape. Can you see how that same E minor position is in that chord? We've just moved it across. However, when it comes to the E minor, the open strings ring out with that, which enables to play it in a much easier way. But when we move that across, we don't have that option anymore of playing the open strings, so we have to bar the rest of those with our 1st finger, but this part of the chord remains the same. Now if I was to play that using the 1st and the 2nd, I've got no way of being able to play that chord shape in that way. So this is why it's so important that we learn it in multiple different ways. Now I hope you didn't find that one too tricky. Just remember when you are practicing that chord shape to use multiple fingers to play that same shape, because it will help you later down the line when you're trying to learn the more complex chords. Trust me. Smash that like button, hit the subscribe. You've been watching The Music Halls. I'm KH. Until next time, keep on rocking.